which I'm going to start in just a minute. With your brother Patrick. Thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Uja, thank you for tuning in. We're going to start in about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I'm going to start with the altar. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Can you hear me over there, everybody? Sometimes there's weird things I'm not aware of going on with the sound. Uja. Okay. All right. I'm going to start with the altar, lighting the candle and everything over here. See me lighting the candle and incense. The fire represents the Aku, the divine light within that's to be awakened. The incense, fragrance of the personality, which rises up, communes with the divine. Water from one container to the next. Symbolizes the one-pointed flow of the mind. Oops. Yikes. I know you heard that. I got a little fruit offering. Some beautiful cherries. Oops. Beautiful cherries. Oh, good. You can see the altar. So, on this screen, you can see I've got some beautiful dried lotus flowers. I guess I can. About one, in case you've never seen one. There's even a few seeds inside there. And this beautiful ankh was gifted to me outside of the temple at Abdu. And I don't have a sphinx, but I do have this beautiful black Shurgite pyramid. I'm symbolizing the sphinx today. All right, welcome. Oh, get the calendar. Uja, Uba Nefer, Good Rising, Great Awakenings. Been going through so many changes. I've started saying Great Eternity because the goal is to reach a level where we don't have to reincarnate, so we don't have to come back, we don't have to rise again, and also to reach a certain level of consciousness where maybe it's not rising anymore, it's just unfolding. And so I've been saying Great Eternity because that is the goal, is to have a great eternity. When I was studying a lot more than I am now, I decided that was my goal, is to live my life in such a way where I don't have to come back. So, Great Eternity. So today we're here for our edition of Cosmic Adorations of Divine Holy Day, according to this Kemetic Sidereal Calendar. This calendar follows Sirius. The horoscope's astrology system follows the solar sidereal. This is the Sirius sidereal. And it says, humanity's original calendar was recovered by Neb Naba Lamusa Morodinbig. This calendar is based on the helical rising of the Sirius star. It has been 422 years since the last great helical rising. Helical means when the sun and Sirius rise together. That'll be starting in July 23rd in August, and then in September also. This year of 365 days is the second quarter of the Renpet, the real year, which is 1,461 days, as shown by the chart below. And as you can see, this is the numerical system, Kemetic numerical system from what they use in Mali. And I need to learn need to learn to count. I don't really know the counting system. So we are in the month of Capricorn, and we are in the decan of Hinatu Geru. And I do not know the pronunciations very well, so if there's anyone on here who can correct me, please do so. And then the Neteru for this week is NeferTem and HeruKuti or HeruMaket. We call last strength, I don't like to say weeks, last decan, we had HeruKuti. And I said that I didn't remember studying HeruKuti before. Sabajah pointed out to me that they are, HeruKuti and HeruMaket is considered to be the same in some traditions. HeruMaket is Heru of the two horizons and is symbolized by the Sphinx. Okay. So I have prepared a web page. Of course, my website went down as soon as I started the series, so I can't share it with you yet. Someone is working on the website very soon. I will share the images in the clips and the replay. It's really weird how every time it's time for me to do one of these, well, I don't want to say that. In the past, whenever it's time to do something with my music website, it crashes. Someone found out last year that for 10 years someone has been hacking my website from California and Washington, like 2 beams of hacking. Alright, so let us go ahead and start our program. Oh, and I also wanted to point out that, I don't know if it's on this phone. Maybe on the other phone. Oh no, here we go. On, oh, it wasn't working on this one. Yeah, I don't know what's happening to it on this phone, but they have a little, not little app, they have an app where you can keep up with the calendar on your phone. So, I just started using it this year. I've had it before, I've never used it. But it helps. You can even schedule things and sync it with your iCalendar or what have you. It's funny because a few years ago I asked them if they were going to make an app and they said no. That's okay. Alright. So this series is newly renamed Cosmic Adorations because we are now following Sirius and the Sacred Hoop instead of outdated historical calendars. So on these web pages, you'll just find my notes, translations, prayers, links, pages, resources, and lyrics to the songs. I'm not a scholar. I'm not writing articles and giving you references and all that. These are just my notes. So what I like to do is go through the teachings from different places on the internet and then go into Sabajah's teachings. So let's start with some of the opening prayers. And then we'll get into some teachings. What's that? Oh, there we go. Okay. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in today. So we're going to start with the opening. I open the altar. Start with the Om NeferTem Capital Asar Om. Before you read from the Purdom Heru, you're advised to recite a few prayers. And one came through me. Oh, there's a question. What is your favorite indigenous culture outside? Well, I would say the Natarian tradition is my favorite currently. It has changed over the decades, but I think Natarian wisdom, Kemetic culture, and also my research, or my goal, is to find the connection between Kemet and Turtle Island cultures, or Amarukan. So that would be Kemet and Tameri. The pyramid, Sirius cultures. I feel and believe that there is a strong connection. And I've spent the last 10 or 12 years studying Kemet. Before that, I was studying Turtle Island and South American cultures. And I traveled looking for proof of ancient Kemet in Brazil, Mexico, Peru, Ecuador, and Belize. And I have yet to publish my findings because I had to spend this time studying Kemet. So, if you ask me, my favorite indigenous culture is the human culture, humanity. The first humans were black, and we lived all over the world, and we gave birth to civilization. So, humanity is my favorite culture. Om Nebaja Capita Sarom. 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 Grand Rising, great eternity. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. Not Eve. I don't know what that means. Not Eve. Not Eve. I don't know what that means, but thank you for commenting. I usually play that one on the harp, and I forgot to pull out the harp this time. So I'm going to read the translation first. Dhehuty. Again, it's from the CanisMajor Prayer Manual. Robotic sound. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. Robotic sound. You could try Instagram or TikTok. I don't know why it makes that robotic sound. I don't have the speaker on. Okay, Lola. Well, okay. Sorry. Yes, I'm on Instagram at Tachia Amet and TikTok also. I don't know why this happens on YouTube. I'm going to have to figure it out. It doesn't sound robotic on my end, so I can't fix it. Maybe one day you can help me troubleshoot. Okay, I'm going to just keep on going. But thank you for letting me know. No, Sybil, not right now. Okay, so I'm going to read the translations. Adorations to Ra. This is from the Prayer A from the Ancient Kemetic Book of Coming Forth by Day. Oh, yeah. Adorations to Ra when he rises in horizon eastern. Homage to Ra, coming forth as Kepeda. Kepeda, creator of the gods and goddesses. Rising thee, shining thee, lighting up thy mother, rising as Lord, king of the gods and goddesses. Your mother Nut does an act of worship to you with both arms. Manu, the western horizon, receives thee in peace, and Ma'at embraces thee at the double season perennially. Make sure it's in tune. Sebajah to Ubratim for inspiring the melody. Let me just leave a note here. Okay. There you go. If sound is awful, go to Instagram or TikTok at the chair I'm at. Okay, great. Because it might not be horrible for everyone. I don't know. Alrighty. The next opening prayer is found in the PTAH Haru. And it's adorations to the divine in the form of the moon, Asar. Oh, I don't have my light. Adorations to Asar, Unifer, divinity, great personality and heart of Abdu, king of eternity, Lord of forever, traveling for eternities. In the form raised he, son of primary son of Nut, engendered by Geb, master lord of the Ureret crown, exalted white crown, prince of gods and goddesses and people. Okay, so I was just reading that and about eternity, So I've seen several words for eternity. He and Unshen is forever, I think. He. And so great eternity would be Uben He. Yeah. No, that's rising. Nefer. Nefer He. Hey Nefer. I'm going to go with Hey Nefer. Hey Nefer. Help me remember. Okay, I have to make a note of that. Okay. Okay, now the translation for... Oh, where is it? I didn't offer it yet. Oh, here we go. Gotta be in here. There we go. Yes, something's happening when I can find something the same day I'm looking for it. Organization. Dua Asar Unifer Netra Herababu Sutin Hey Nevjeta Sebebi Hey Dua Asar Unifer Netra Dua Asar Unifer Netra Dua Asar Imha'ef Sadep and Cat Newt Utet and Geb Arpet Neb Dua Asar Unifer Netra Dua Asar Unifer Netra Dua Asar Uraretai Heliti Netarurim Peg Dua Asar Unifer Netra Dua Asar Unifer Netra Glory to Asar Nefer Glory to Asar Nefer Glory to Asar Nefer Glory to Asar the great God within us. Hotep. Dua Asar. Dua Ratim and Dua Temple of Amun-Ra. With that beautiful melody at the end. Right. Now we have the opening prayer for Anpu to open the way, to remove obstacles to our success and technical difficulties. And this is also from the prayer book Shatau Neter. The melody came through, and you can find it on your favorite music platform. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Remove obstacles to my success in my spiritual practice. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Lead souls through the narrow pathways to know the difference between real and unreal. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Measure between heaven and hell. Face black as night, golden as the day. Equally watchful by night as by day. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. May Anpu make my thighs firm, so that I may stand upon them. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener of the ways. I washed myself in the waters where Anpu washed himself, where he was the officer of embalmer and bandager. Oh, Anpu, opener the ways. Oh, Anpu, opener the ways. My lips are the lips of Anpu. 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 Dua Anpu, Hotep. Right, the final opening chant or regular chant. 4 great truths of Shatau Neter. Read the translation first. The Neter, the Supreme Being, is one and alone, and is NeferTem, manifesting everywhere and in all things in the form of gods and goddesses. NeferTem means all-encompassing divinity, the all-inclusive, all-embracing spirit which pervades all, and who is the ultimate essence of all. This first truth unifies all the expressions of Kemetic religion. Number 2, lack of righteousness brings fetters to the personality, and these fetters lead to ignorance of the divine. When a human being acts in ways that contradict the natural order of nature, negative qualities of the mind will develop within that person's personality. These are the afflictions of Set. Set is the Neteru of egoism and selfishness. The afflictions of Set include anger, hatred, greed, lust, jealousy, envy, gluttony, dishonesty, hypocrisy, etc. So to be free from the fetters of Set, one must be free from the afflictions of Set. Devotion to the divine leads to freedom from the fetters of Set. To be liberated, Nafu, freedom to breathe from the afflictions of Set, one must be devoted to the divine. Being devoted to the divine means living by Ma'at. Ma'at is a way of life that is purifying to the heart and beneficial for society as it promotes virtue and order. Living by Ma'at means practicing Shedi spiritual practices and disciplines. Uwashu means devotion, and the classic pose of adoring the divine is called Dua, standing or sitting with upraised hands facing outwards towards the image of the divinity. That's how we say greetings as well as thank you, Dua, Hotep, Supreme Peace. Number 4, the practice of the Shedi disciplines leads to knowing oneself as the divine. This is called being true of speech. That's Makadu, true of speech. Doing Shedi means to study profoundly, to penetrate the mysteries, Shataut, and to discover the nature of the divine. There have been several practices designed by the sages of ancient Kemet to facilitate this process of self-knowledge. These are the religious Shataut traditions and the Sema, Smai, Taui, yogic disciplines related to them that augment the spiritual practices. All the traditions relate the teachings of the sages by means of myths related to particular gods and goddesses. It is understood that all of these Neteru are related like brothers and sisters, having all emanated from the same source, the same supremely divine parent, who is neither male nor female, but encompasses the totality of the two. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is today's presentation of Cosmic Adorations for Divine Holy Day, and we'll be studying the wisdom teachings and having some music and reflections in honor of the Neteru for this decan, NeferTem and HeruKuti, or HeruKuti. There's so many ways to pronounce it. I try to pronounce them all at once, and it doesn't work. On my arts, we sound you said, say, come in. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside you said. Adishedi, rekab, in makedu. Anatadu, wa never shed him, netedu. On my arts, we sound you said, say, come in. Say, washu, say, nafu, inside you said. Adishedi, rekab, in makedu. Anatadu, wa never shed him, netedu. odds we sell, you said, say, come in. Say what you say, now flew inside, you said. Adisheri bekabi makedu. Anatadu, oh, never shed him, natadu. On the odds we sell, you said, say, come in. Say what you say, now flew inside, you said. Adisheri bekabi makedu. Hotep. Yes, Dua. Eventually, with these Cosmic Adorations programs, I will have the program outline prepared before the session, and then you can follow along, you can sing along, you can do call and response. I was hoping to have that ready this week, but something unusual happened with my website, so I wasn't able to do that. All right? So now we're going to move into some of the teachings. Going to visit some places around the World Wide Web, and then we'll dive into Seba Ma's teachings. Let's see. We're going to start with Ancient Egypt. We're going to start with NeferTem, Ancient Egypt Online. I didn't have all the windows open. I've asked for a directory of the netters from the Earth Center where the calendar comes from. However, I think you have to be a member in order to accept their. What do you call it? The cookies distracted me in order to access their teachings. So we'll just deal with the internet and Shatao Netter for now. NeferTem, NeferTem, NeferTemu. Again, this is from Ancient Egypt Online. Was the god, is the god of the lotus blossom, who emerged from the primeval waters at the beginning of time, and also a god of perfume and aromatherapy. He may have originally been considered to be an aspect of Atum. According to one version of the creation story of the Aeneid, NeferTem, translated as perfect Atum or perfect Atum, was born from a blue lotus bud which emerged from the waters of Nun at the beginning of creation. Atum represented the sun, and so NeferTem represented the sunrise. He cries because he was alone, and his tears created humanity. It was thought that he was born with every sunrise, matured into Atum during the day before passing into the world of the dead every sunset. The cycle of birth in the morning and death every evening, as the sun traveled through the underworld, represented the daily struggle between chaos and order, Ma'at, between Apep and Ma'at. And then it talks about how it changed a little bit. According to one legend, NeferTem brought a bouquet of beautiful lotuses to the aging Ra to ease his suffering. As a result, he was described in the pyramid text as the lotus blossom, which is before the nose of Ra. NeferTem was linked both to the pleasant scent of the lotus flower and to its medical properties, which were well known to the ancient Egyptians. He was also associated with a number of Egyptians' favorite flowers, such as the rose, geranium, and cornflower. He could be described as the archetypical aromatherapist. Let's see. Oh, here's a nice one. A passage of the Book of the Dead says the blessed dead will rise like NeferTem from the lotus to the nostrils of Ra and come forth upon the horizon each day. You know, that's interesting because when I was looking for information in the Purdah Meru, I did not find anything. And there must be something wrong with that. That can't be. Because I know there's a passage from there. So I'm going to look one more time when we get to that section. Man. Where's the one I'm working on? HeruKuti. Oh, there it is. I wasn't... Yeah, let's see if there's got to be something there. Okay. Let's see anything else here. Sorry about that. I found some more. I'm compiling phrases for a song. I didn't find a passage in the Purdah Meru, so I'm just compiling phrases, and I missed these two. Okay. Okay. He was linked also to rebirths, both as a personification of the newborn son and as the patron of many of the necessary ingredients of the mummification process. A passage of Book of the Dead says that the blessed dead will rise like NeferTem from the lotus to the nostrils of Ra and come forth upon the horizon each day. Okay. Then we're going to go to Crystal Links. She usually has some interesting information on Egyptian Neteru. Oh, this is interesting here. So it talks about how NeferTem is associated with the lotus flower. And then she goes on to say that the true lotus, Nulumbo nucifera, is not found in Kemet until the time of the Persian invasion, when it was introduced as a food crop. The lotus flower appeared in their artwork way before the Persian invasion. Later, as time wore on, Atum became assimilated into Ra as Atum Ra, and so it came to be that people regarded NeferTem as a separate deity. He was beautiful, water lily of the sun, rise like NeferTem from the blue water, and come forth from the horizon each day. Oh, that's another one. I don't know how I missed that before. Oops. Okay. Anything else here interesting? No, that was all that was interesting about that one. All right, just do a few more here. Okay, yeah, there's one. They just talked about the art collection. This what was this website? Some website, a collection of art, a museum owned by Jesuits, and I was like, that's enough. And then here we go, another one. It's funny how they only see the artwork and they totally miss the spiritual value of what they symbolize. Okay. Right. Facts about NeferTem. This is landofthepyramids.org. NeferTem is a member of the Memphis Triad of gods. He's the son of Ptah and Sekhmet. I've also seen where he's the son of Ptah and Bastet. Memphis was the capital of ancient Kemet during the Old Kingdom, and there's many people that feel that Memphis here in Turtle Island, North American, and then there's also a Memphis in Mexico. So there's like a triple Memphis. Okay, there was something here I wanted to see. Lotus flower. Okay, must have been the perfume. No, that was it. Just as previously stated, the Memphis creation myth was not just developed for religious beliefs, it was also developed for political and financial reasons. Ancient Kemet was the perfume manufacturing and trading center of the world, considered masters of the art of perfume making. By creating the god NeferTem, the god of healing, beautification, and perfumes, the priests of Memphis aligned themselves to the extremely lucrative perfume market. The chemistry of creating fragrant oils was an important Egyptian science, and the priests of NeferTem became involved in the development of perfumes, aromatics, perfumes, cosmetics, unguents, and air fresheners, medicines, and lotions, all contained oil extracted from lotus flowers. Salves, ointments, and perfumed oils for ritual and medical use were processed in the temple laboratories by the priests of NeferTem. So if you're interested in getting perfumes from Kemet, I do have a line of fragrances from Kemet. I make these special blends. And then I also make medicinal salves. So you can go to lightbeingwellness.com to find out more about that. And I think that's all I had here. Oh, here we go. In many tomb paintings, the deceased is shown smelling lotus blossoms to help restore the senses. The oil of the lotus was used during the long process of preparing the body for mummification, to unite the limbs, to join the bones and assemble the flesh, and reducing the smell of decaying flesh. The god NeferTem presided over this process as the god of perfumes and unguents, and was therefore associated with death and the underworld. Let's see, here's another one. To unite the limbs, join the bones, and assemble the flesh. In case you haven't noticed, these sessions are like study time for moi, and then I like to put the studies to music. All right. Let's see here. I have a few pictures of NeferTem, but you can't see them right now. So even though they said that it means beautiful, what did they say? Beautiful light, or beautiful flower. Oh, beautiful autumn. When I look at the word NeferTem, I see NeferTem, where Tem is ending. Beautiful ending. Like a beautiful ending to the day, or beautiful ending to your life, beautiful activity, a beautiful ending to whatever you're doing. And I have a quote from one of my spirit guides. You cannot change the past, however, you can change the outcome. So no matter how horrible something might have been in the past, we can keep working on changing the outcome. That's a major healing technique. I know one person calls it revisioning, where you just visualize how you would have liked things to have turned out, and if you do that enough, eventually you can, change the fabric of the universe, like with Goddess Knit, and you'll actually experience the desired outcome. Not being attached to the outcome, not like that, just changing how you feel about the outcome. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So far, most of the info I found online is about the stolen art, the perfume, the lotus flower. To dive deep, we're going to have to go into the work of Seba Ma. I'm more interested in how to connect with the Neteru, how to become one with them, how to master the cosmic forces of nature, how to manifest an enlightened lifestyle, and how to attain Nihas in this lifetime. All right. So let's have a little chant. Okay, so, take off my glasses. These next two chants came to me the last time I was in Kemet. Oh, there it is. I say I should say instead of this song came to me. Last time I was in Kemet and we were driving around and I saw the street sign that said, well, that's the next one. So it's an early introduction. I'll come back to that introduction. This is just NeferTem. Why don't you try call and response? It's simple. Just repeat after me. Om NeferTem. Om NeferTem. Om NeferTem. Om NeferTem. I'll leave more space. Om NeferTem. Om NeferTem. Yeah, so that's NeferTem. I know they say it's to NeferTem. I just see it as the beautiful ending. I should have sang it at the end. I'll sing it at the end too. All right, the next one is not really about NeferTem, but I'm going to offer it now anyway. This is the one that I said, where it's driving through and I saw a sign, street sign said NeferTT. And I said, Nefer is beautiful. What is TT? And so I asked my tour guide, and he said it means coming. It means it's beauty is coming, or beautiful is coming. And so I had, this one came, Hotep, Om Hotep TT. Peace is coming. The end of the duality, supreme peace is coming. So do I remember this one? I haven't played this one on the harp in a long time. Oh, is it? I don't know if I remember it. just going to sing it because I don't remember it with the harp. Om Hotep Titi. 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 Bet you didn't know I could play the slap the thigh instrument. I just see that song when I close my eyes. I just see lots of people, human beings, all wearing white, walking towards the sacred sites all around the world after we have defeated the global elite, defeated colonialism, defeated caucasity. That's what I felt just then. I could just feel it and see it. All right. Now we're going to have the NeferTem reflection from the Tefnetru Sima Pout and the Akusaneb yoga, meditation, reflective movement system. All right, so just close your eyes for a minute. Just take a few breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And if you're sitting on the floor, you can sit in the NeferTem posture, which is the lotus posture where you sit with your legs crossed. I'm sitting in a chair, so let's see if I can do that. I don't think I'll... Yeah, there we go. Okay. And remember, oh, that's not comfortable at all. Remember when we say Nook, that means I am. So, okay. Nook NeferTem, the lotus flower and sacred words of power. Nook NeferTem, I am the newborn sun, symbolized as a divine solar child. I emerge from the primeval waters and sit upon the lotus flower of creation. Let me try this. NeferTem, I am the newborn sun, symbolized as a divine solar child. I sit upon the lotus flower of creation. I emerge from the primeval water. Nook NeferTem, I sit above creation in freedom and in peace. I bring purity to the world every day with my lotus flower. I sit above creation in freedom Tua Hotep. Okay. A few more readings, and we're going to go into say by Ma's readings on NeferTem. Is that all the same? Yeah. Let's see. I don't know where I got this from. In Kemet, the lotus symbolized the glorious fragrance of the divine self, as well as the state of spiritual enlightenment. It symbolized dispassion, so it grows in the muddy waters, but remains untouched by the waters due to its special coating, meaning that spiritual aspirants must remain detached from the world even while continuing to live and work in the world. The god Heru NeferTem symbolizes the archetypical ideal of spiritual mastery and absolute consciousness. He sits on the lotus as its master, pointing to the mouth as the controller through word sound. NeferTem means beautiful completion, signifying absolute wholeness, fullness, and all-encompassingness. That's what I said. Beautiful completion. Beautiful ending. And he points to the mouth, and the mouth is the symbol of consciousness. All right, so now we're going to switch over to Say by Ma's work. This is a lot to cover in one session. I don't know about two deities in one, so we're going to go over for sure. All right, so here's from page 139 of The Tree of Life by Say by Ma. First of all, we want to discuss what the name Heru itself means. There is a word in the Kemetic hieroglyphic text, Her, H-E-R, which is a person's face. It means person. It means personality. The name Heru is based on this root, Her or Hera. Also, Heru means face of God. This is another definition that is given in the text. Hold on. Face of God. Face of God. And what was the other one? Oh, royal personality. This is another definition that is given in the text. Heru means that which is above, and all these terms give you an indication of the meaning of Heru. In a general sense, it means the personality that exists, and that is all of you who are listening to this or who will read this in the future. Also, the scripture explains that one aspect of Heru, Heru Pakard, Heru the child, is the NeferTem. Pakard also means Ra when he is young, the solar child. So the descriptions of the names themselves are giving us insight into the connections of the tree, because if Heru is, of the tree, because if Heru is allowed to grow up, who does he become? Ra, of course. In Anunian theurgy, Heru manifests as Heru. In Memphite theurgy, he manifests as NeferTem. And in Theban theurgy, he manifests as Khonsu. For those of you still watching on TikTok, if you could tap the screen, that would definitely help the broadcast. And I know that TikTok gives you little coins when that happens. So if you could just tap the screen a few times, I would appreciate it. Then there's an image of Heru sitting on the flower with his, thank you, Dua, pointing to his mouth. Heru must grow up. In order for Heru to grow up, he must be nurtured and taught by his mother, who is ASET. The first important aspect of Heru that we want to discuss about is HeruKuti in Ma. Heru, the foremost seer who is blind. And this is also explained as the new moon. Heru has two eyes. The right eye is the sun, and the left eye is the moon. The right eye signifies fire and power of the life force that manifests through the sun. The left eye, being the moon, is associated with mind, with the god Dhehuty as well as the god Asar. The moon also signifies coolness. When the moon shines full, it signifies the fullness of the reflection of the sun, but when it was waning or completely dark, it signifies the loss of that reflection, and hence represents growing ignorance or weakness instead of enlightenment and power. In Memphite theurgy, in the form of NeferTem, Heru is a solar child, the newborn sun, which emerges on the horizon as if from out of the ocean. He points to his mouth, signifying his command over words of power to bring creation into existence. So just see yourself on the lotus flower, rising up in consciousness. And also, the power we have with our mouth, the words that are coming from our mouth, the thoughts. I've known about this for a very long time, but it's only recently that I am really, very diligent with watching my words and my mouth and my mind, my thoughts. Okay. There is a form of Heru called HeruSidereal, Heru, the uniter of the two lands. He is also known as NeferTem. He springs forth from the lotus each year, bringing forth creation and bringing forth enlightenment, unity of the higher and lower self, transcending duality. There was a form of Heru called Heru-Nub, the Heru of gold. Nub means gold, as in Nubia, the land of gold. Gold is the color of the sun. It is the color of perfection, the color of spiritual enlightenment. Got a few more here from Seba Ma. You said 142, correct? Oops. Okay. Gonna work today, right? Oh, that's the one we just read. Okay, cool. 174. Thank you for your patience. I'll get back to the music soon. 74. Okay. Heru as NeferTem, sitting on the lotus, the creation that arises out of the primeval ocean. Dua. In this iconography, the divine child is the master of creation. The lotus is creation itself, and the primeval ocean is the substratum from which the creation arises. As the NeferTem aspect, he points to his mouth. He utters Heka, words of power, and the world comes into being. And Set is the opposite to that. Remember that we've talked about the opposites of creation in the form of the divinities, as well as complementary opposites or direct opposites. In this particular point, we are discussing Set and Heru, are direct opposites. Heru is the one who speaks and whose words bring forth creation into being, and Set is the divinity that stops the speech. And we know this because it is specified in the myth of the Asarian resurrection. Okay, more and more, and then it goes down here. When divinities speak, their words can affect creation because they have power. Ordinary human beings also have power in speech, but not so much to bring physical items into existence, but they can bring ideas and feelings into existence, and those can have great consequences in the physical realm. The reason why the mouth brings forth powerful words, the words that bring creations into being, is because it is tied directly to the unconscious mind. The unconscious level of mind is the subtlest and therefore the most powerfully vibrating energies out. Therefore, the most powerfully vibrating energies are there. But if the unconscious mind is clouded and is beset with egoism, anger, hatred, greed, lust, envy, jealousy, etc., fetters of Set, then those creations are going to be curtailed, limited, and tainted. Yes, you will create all kinds of unrighteousness, and I'm adding entanglements. But unrighteousness, since it is not ultimately real, cannot be said to be a creation. Speaking from a philosophical perspective. So that is Sayu Set. Those are the bandages over the mouth, or like the mummy is wrapped up in these bandages. On the other hand, spiritual aspiration, Heru, what Heru represents, is antithetical to the Sayu Set and antithetical to the fetters, and each fetter has a corresponding virtue. So the way to confront these fetters is with the practice of their corresponding virtue. Therefore, if you hate somebody, you should practice love. If you are a violent person, you should practice nonviolence. If you do the opposite, you will neutralize the fetter. Let me just interject here. If you are a violent person, you should practice nonviolence. And what popped into my head is I was thinking of the whole nonviolent civil rights movement. We weren't the violent people. We weren't the violent ones, yet we were practicing nonviolence. I just wanted to throw that in there. If you do the opposite, you will neutralize the fetters. And if you continue on this process, going beyond just the neutralization effect, which means not just being a good person, a compassionate, loyal, ethical, etc. person, it will bring positive situations in life. That is a good thing, but that is not going to liberate you from ignorance that causes sorrow in life and the cycle of birth and death. It only brings you peaceful conditions and prosperity more than sorrow and pain. I'm just applying this to the situation that we're in right now. It is not going to lead you to enlightenment and immortality in other words. In other words, you must go beyond just being a good person, and that happens when you grow in wisdom, the studies of the mysteries of the mystical philosophy, such as the teachings of the Tree of Life. I'm going to stop there because the rest is not about NeferTem or Heru. Wow, that was powerful. I missed that the first time. That was pretty interesting. I'm dealing with something, going to an corrupt justice system seeking justice. Okay. I think there's one more reading for NeferTem. Maybe two. Oh, but what I wanted to bring out is how the Neteru can manifest physical objects. When we're true of speech, we manifest with feelings or emotions. So we don't necessarily manifest the thing we want to manifest. We manifest by frequency, by matching the vibration of how we'll feel once it is attained. And I hear this all the time, and I work on my manifestations. However, I have been focusing on the thing rather than matching how it will feel. Let me write this down real quick. Sorry, I have to write this down because I will forget it. It's just more of these things where you know or you hear about it, and then when you see it at the right time in the right place, it clicks. Okay. Well, that's my homework for today. All right. And I have more images of NeferTem. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're almost to HeruMaket. Pertamaru, page 183, verse 28. Pertamaru, page Yeah, this is why I don't know why it said I could not find any passages other than just talking about NeferTem. I didn't see the scriptures. That's what I'm interested in. And I know there's one. Oh, there. Is that it? No. That's just a note. I know I've seen it before. It didn't show up today. All right. Well, let me just look through my book really quick. Maybe I can find it. I can find it online. I know there's one. Just give me a second. It must not be indexed under his name. Okay, I'm just going to do one of these, see if I can just flip through it and find it. Sometimes it works. Oh. No, that's not it. Close. It's a lotus. I know I've seen it. I'm not going to spend all day. I'm just going to... I looked for it earlier. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. I'll probably find it as soon as I go offline. Oh, there it is. Okay. Page 260. All right, let me add that to my notes. That is so weird. That is just really weird. Page 260. Okay. Okay. All right, let me read 181 first. Thank you for putting up with me. Okay, 181. So this is page 183, excuse me. Chapter 27? No. I don't know what chapter it is. Oh, bad. That's what I was afraid of. Page 183. Okay. No. I'm just waiting for the scroll. Okay, there we go. Okay, verse 28. It is Shemsu, the mutilator. Oh, who then is this being spoken about? It is Shemsu, the mutilator of Asar. Another way of putting it is Apep, chaos. When he has one head with Ma'at. Another way of putting it is Heru, when he has two heads, being one of them with Ma'at and one of them with unrighteousness. At this time he is the giver of wrong to the doer of Ma'at and to followers concerning it. Another way of putting it is Heru the Great, the foremost powerful ruler. It is Dhehuty. Another way of putting it is NeferTem in the form of Sept, not Set, who obstructs the wrongdoings of the wrongdoers towards NeferTem. Save thee me from those chiefs who are administrators of pain with their powerful fingers full of sickness, and who slay those who are in the following of Asar. They shall not have power within me. I will not go under their knives. Who then is this being spoken about? And then in the notes, it explains that NeferTem, of course, is the... the note says, the initiate first asserts identification with the solar child Heru who brought creation into being as NeferTem, the primeval creator. And then the same creator that is referred to by various names, Atum, NeferTem, Net, Ptah, Amun, etc., etc. And then Sept, of course, refers to, where is it? The next one, sorry. Here we go. That was another Sept is Sirius. Basically, the scrolling is not working right now. Okay, so now we're going to move to, I don't know if I can find it here. 260. 260. Okay, there it is. That is so bizarre. Okay. All right. Well, good. I gotta have an actual passage. I can't just... All right, here we go. And of course, we have the beautiful lotus harp that I got outside of the temple of Heru and Anpu. Ooh, that's nice. This is from chapter 24, Making the Transformation into a Lotus. It's the English version, though. I'll have to find the NeferTem version for next year. These words are said by Asar. These words are said by Asar. I am the lotus pure, coming forth out into the day. I am the guardian of the nostril of Ra, and keeper of the nose of Heteru. I make, I come, and I seek after He that is Heru. I am pure, going out from the field. I am the lotus pure, coming forth out into the day. I am the guardian of the nostril of Ra, and keeper of the nose of Heteru. I make, I come, and I seek after He that is Heru. I am pure, going out from the field. Nupu NeferTem. Nupu NeferTem. Nupu NeferTem. Nupu NeferTem. NeferTem. Yes. We got a little comment. Great awakenings. Tuesday, aka day off. Heruman. Okay. Well, great eternity to you. Oh, Uja Ahmed Abidos. I think that's my friend from Abydos. I bought a scarf from him. I bought it just from him. And he gave me the ankh I showed you. Now he's on my live stream. All right. So I'm going to describe this image that they have here with that passage. Vignette from chapter 24 of Papyrus Ani. The initiate comes forth from the lotus of creation as the primeval divinity arose from the primeval ocean for the first time to engender creation in the form of NeferTem. Nefer. Okay. Now we will move on to our section for... Oh, there's a gloss for that little passage. Well, the gloss is longer than the passage. It is so important, I'm going to read it anyway. Oh my goodness. Okay. The lotus is the Kemetic symbol. This is the information I was looking for the whole time. The lotus is the Kemetic symbol for the number 1000. It is also a symbol of detachment and the aroma of divinity. In mystical philosophy, the number 1000 manifests manifold, and in Indian yoga, it is used as the symbol for the psycho-spiritual energy center of the crown chakra, which contains 1000 subtle petals, meaning transcendental experience. The lotus grows in a pond of murky water, and yet is untouched by the water. So too the aspirant must remain in the world of illusion, and yet be untouched by that illusion. Instead, it turns towards the sun during the day and closes up at night, turning away from the darkness. This is accomplished by daily application of a spiritual ointment on the personality, just as the lotus applies oils on itself to remain untouched by the murky waters of the pond. As I mentioned before, you can get a bottle of lotus fragrance from Kemet, brought over here by moi. And in Kemet, they make, the reason their fragrances are so amazing is because they just press the flowers. There's no distillation, no alcohols, no chemicals, no preservatives, no colorings, no additives. I guess some of them they may add color because some are green or blue, but when they're making the fragrance, it's just pure flowers. And so I have a blend named after my daughter, Villa Rosa. It's rose and blue lotus. And then I have one, named after myself, Arit Netter S. Narimati. This is Arit Netter S. It's rose, blue lotus, and myrrh. And then I use that fragrance when I make Natron. So you can also buy Natron. You have to add your own water. I don't sell you water. You just add water to it. And then after you sweep or mop your home, then you spray the Natron. And the other thing I wanted to add is that in Buddhism, I learned, they have the Lotus Sutra. The lotus flower, it travels through the murky water, right? And then it rises up and blossoms on top of the mud. And when it opens, it has the seed. When it blooms, it produces the seed. And usually with flowers, the flower opens and then the seed comes later. So in Buddhism, it's called the simultaneity of cause and effect because the seed and the flower come at the same time. Okay. Murky waters of the pond. These oils used by aspirants are the fruits of practicing the spiritual disciplines. The treatment that the aspirant undergoes is increasing detachment from the world and increasing attachment to the divine self. Therefore, the more detachment one develops, the more insulated one becomes from the world, and the more one is able to become attached to the divine self through one's spiritual disciplines. When there is supreme detachment in the personality, there is also power. Remember last week we were talking about how I'm learning to tap into my anger instead of like ignoring it or squashing it out, because I feel like my anger is a source of power for myself, for my personality. So I'm working on that. Not like anger, but just focusing my anger, channeling it into my art or healing or manifesting or, just I'm learning how to bring myself, think about something that makes me angry, and then instead of just being angry, transforming it. I'm writing some songs, things like that. but that we talked about before, emotions and feelings, using them to manifest rather than just trying to manifest things, manifest the feelings. That's what I've learned from this Divine Holy Day presentation. Okay, here we go. When there is supreme detachment in the personality, there is also power. The goddess Heru symbolizes the unfoldment of the power in abundance, the power of Sekhem. Remember, Sekhmet had a job to eliminate the unrighteous, and then she liked her job so much she just started eliminating everyone. So she was able to, remember her divinity and come back to her place as Heru. The power of Sekhem, the life force that sustains life through the breath work, of course. She is ever at the side of Heru, as in the Assyrian resurrection myth, and so too it is with the spiritual aspirant who has now assumed the role of Heru. Only those who possess such power over the world, like over anger, over our emotions, over our feelings, the field of time and space, are capable of going out from it and coming back to it as they please. The fragrance of the lotus is heavenly, containing medicinal, purposes and spiritual significance. Thus, the smelling of the lotus is symbolic of purity, detachment, and spirit. Okay, let me just do something really. So, okay, so I just had to go get my little bottle of lotus oil. So you can smell it. Put some on. Let's see how they look in them. And then also, if you've ever seen my the logo for the Light Being Wellness website, it's a lotus flower. And it's not just any lotus flower. Sevama pointed it out to us when I went in 2017. It's a lotus flower, and then it has a lotus flower growing out of the lotus flower, and then more lotus flowers growing out of that lotus flower. And it symbolizes growth from growth. It doesn't mean starting over every time, like cut the flower and plant new ones, or, your body dies and you reincarnate and you start over. It symbolizes growth from growth. And he gave us the scientific term. I can never remember it. I'm just going to call it the Light Being Wellness Lotus Flower, because that's the process I'm going through. Not interested in reincarnating unless they absolutely need me to come back and present this music. But I'm living my life in such a way that my heart is light as a feather, and I'm not going to have to come back. And that's what that symbol represents. Okay. And at lightbeingwellness.com/shop, you can get these pinhole glasses. You can get lotus fragrance and the, do I have any here? I don't have it here. And then the salves. Oh, here's one. I also make these powerful medicinal salves. So if you're ever looking for a way to support your favorite chantress, you can go to the website and make a purchase. All right, so now let's move to HeruKuti. I think that was everything for... Okay. Dua, thank you so much, Miss Lily. Organic. Yes, organic. All right, so where did we go from here? I have a little bit of readings, and then we'll go into the songs. Okay. All right, so HeruKuti, the Sphinx, HeruKuti, HeruKuti. There's so many different ways to pronounce it. Let's see. So we're going to go into the secular teachings. By that I mean not from the Temple of Shaitan Neter. So I got to speak to Runokku Rashidi one time. We have a little post by Runokku Rashidi. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is the Cosmic Adorations of Divine Holy Day. According to the calendar put out by the Earth Center, which is a Kemetic SiriusSidereal Calendar. And I don't call them weeks, I call them strengths. In this calendar, they're called decans, 10-day weeks. In ancient Egypt, the weeks had 10 days, and then the 13th month was 5 days for the birth, when Nut gave birth. And so we're on the month of oh, I didn't go back far now. Here we go. Kepkan. We're in the final decan of Kepkan, where we honor NeferTem and HeruKuti. Since I'm a wisdom type of lady, ASET devotee, it's all about wisdom and putting the wisdom to music. So, if you're following the calendar, if you follow the system, on the divine holy days and the ancestral holy days, you're instructed to do oblations, purification ritual. And then, so there's 3 days of work, and then there's 2 divine holy days, and then 2 days of rest. I prefer this calendar than the 7-day calendar. I just do. I don't like the 7-day calendar at all. I only use it when I have to meet with other people. So that's what we're doing, and now we're at the part of the program for HeruKuti. Last decan, or last strength, was the Neteru for HeruKuti. And this one is about the Sphinx. But they're considered to be the same, or one. Did I already have this one open? Okay. And also, if you're just tuning in, this is the second decan of this series, and the goal is to have the report that I'm reading from available to you a few days before the program. However, my website, as soon as I initiated this program, my website crashed. So it's being worked on, and it'll be available to you soon. And in the future, I'm going to, I've been trying to think of a way to have the little subscription thing. So if you are a subscriber, you will get access to the program before the live stream. If you're not, you'll get it after. That's my goal. Okay, so Runokku Rashidi, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He passed away last year. I know one of the teachers was in Kemet when he passed away. I can't remember the situation that was going on. I just know it was a shock, and a lot of us think it was, not an actual death. Might have been taken out or something. I don't know. But anyway, he's got this post on Rumbler, or is it Tumblr? Tumblr. I don't know. So the Sphinx nose was shot off before Napoleon. I've never heard this before. I thought Napoleon's guys did it. This is a drawing, I think you call it a lithograph, done by a French scholar in 1737 of HeruKuti, better known to the world as the Great Sphinx. The story is that Napoleon Bonaparte ordered his guns to fire on it, and thus causing the damage to the face. But Napoleon does not enter Kemet until 1798. As you can see, the damage was done long before that. This drawing is on display in the Brooklyn Museum. Thank you, Runokku Rashidi. There's several great masters and educators that are now ancestors now, and I have not been calling on them. So I got to change that. All right, let's go back to our report. The next link. All right, so now we're going to have a few articles about how the Sphinx was uncovered. I've been getting into lots of arguments, or not arguments, debates, or conversations with Arabs from North Africa and Arabs that live in Egypt. And they have things like, thoughts like, they own the culture, it's only for Egyptians, no one else can practice it or know about it. And I'm like, then why is it open to the public? And I say things like, you guys, your ancestors found it. It was literally covered in sand, and you all have no idea how it got there. So how can you say it's your culture? They say things like they're not African. They're not African, they're not black. That Egypt is not in Africa. Egypt is in the Middle East. Some of these websites, these online websites, I read them because it's kind of funny. Some of them have good information, but a lot of them are just like jokes. Okay, HeruKuti, Heru on the horizon, represents the dawn. Why do they say he represented the dawn? Represents the dawn and the early morning sun. He is often depicted, they say he was often depicted as a sphinx with the head of a man, a lion, or a ram. The latter providing a link to the god Khepri, the rising sun. So Dr. Ashby always points out that there's different schools of thought, and they have different ways of expressing the same thing. So, like in one tradition, the Asarian, it's Asar, ASET, Heru. In the Memphite tradition, it's PTAH, Sekhmet, and NeferTem, like that. And it's not that big a deal, but they're like, oh. It is often suggested that the Great Sphinx of Giza is a representation of Khafre with the face of the 4th dynasty Pharaoh Khephren. He was also depicted as a falcon or a man with the head of a falcon wearing a variety of crowns. Okay, here's something about the dream part. He was thought to be a source of wisdom as well as a representation of the sun. According to legend, Prince Thutmose IV, 18th dynasty, was hunting in the marsh close to the Sphinx. He took a nap between its paws and dreamed HeruKuti Atum Khepri was actually his father, and that he was destined to be pharaoh. The god promised Thutmose the throne if he would remove the sand which was burying him. Thutmose agreed and was true to his word. He became pharaoh and not only cleared the sand but promoted Ra-Horem Akhet above Amun-Ra, heralding perhaps the rejection of Amun by Akhenaten in favor of the Aten, which was represented as a sun disk. You can't see my eyes, like, The pharaoh also dedicated a small temple to HeruKuti, on which the Sphinx was described as HeruKuti Harun. It is thought that the Syrian and Palestinian workforce working near to the Sphinx associated it with their god of the underworld, Harun. This link may explain the Sphinx's epithet, Father of Terror. All right, and then the dream stela of Thutmose IV. This is from Nova. They have a little bit more information on this. Okay, so that's the story about him. So they think that it was buried. I don't know. What else would have been visible in the Giza Plateau at that time? The pyramids. I mean, who asked these questions? There was something else here I wanted to read. The Sphinx as the sun god. Was it unusual in Egyptian lore for a god to speak to a mortal? No. But her answer is, it was very unusual for a god to speak to a mortal. Sorry, I should have marked the paragraphs. I only marked the links. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. Okay, no. Okay, yeah, that's just more malarkey. All right, but I like to include it just so we can get the contrast. Okay. Now, so Tutmosis uncovered it from sand. He said the 4th dynasty. And they say that he looked like the 18th dynasty, Khufre. And then, of course, the Arabs uncovered it in, I don't know, what 100 AD. My question is, how long had it already been there? Like, I don't believe that it was made to look like Khufre, because I think it's way older than 7,000 years, 4,500 years. I think it's 26,000 years. Okay, here's another article from the Sphinx Facts from the Smithsonian. Did I already have this one open? Yeah, I think this one's already open. Sphinx Facts, I like that. Uncovering Secrets of the Sphinx. Okay, yeah, so this one is about Mark Lenner and that Awad Hassi. They found a city, a hidden city. Let's see what we have about it. I think it was not till the end. When he was in college, he heard about a crypt under the Sphinx where all these books and the Alexandrian library. So he spent most of his life trying to get to the point where he could be authorized to go do that dig. And he didn't find that, but he did find a whole city. What was the guy's name? Awad. I can't remember his name. Okay, well, let's forget about his name. He explored and mapped a passage in the Sphinx rump, concluding that Zahi Hawass. He was the guy that was, I really did not like him back in the 2000s. He was really making me angry. Okay. Here we go. Recognized today as one of the leading Egyptologists and Sphinx authorities, he has conducted field research at the Giza for most of 37 years since his first visit. Applying his archaeological sleuthing to the surrounding 2-square-mile Giza Plateau with its pyramids, temples, quarries, and thousands of tombs, Lenner helped confirm what others had speculated, that some parts of the Giza complex the Sphinx included make up a vast sacred machine designed to harness the power of the sun to sustain the earthly and divine order. And while he long ago gave up on the fabled library of Atlantis, it's curious, in light of his early wanderings, he finally did discover a lost city. The Sphinx was not assembled piece by piece, but was carved from a single mass of limestone exposed when workers dug a horseshoe-shaped quarry in the Giza Plateau. Approximately 66 feet tall, 240 feet long, it is one of the largest and oldest monolithic statues in the world. None of the photos or sketches I'd seen prepared me for the scale. It was a humbling sensation to stand between the creature's paws, each twice my height and longer than a city bus. I gained sudden empathy for what a mouse must feel like when cornered by a cat. Then there's this weird quote in here about not knowing the original name of the Sphinx. That the name Sphinx came from Greek, is a Greek name. And then this person says, there are hundreds of tombs at Giza with hieroglyphic inscriptions dating back some 4,500 years, but not one of them mentions the statue. The Egyptians didn't write history, says James Allen, an Egyptologist at Brown University, so we have no solid evidence for what its builders thought the Sphinx was. Certainly something divine, presumably the image of a king, but beyond that is anyone's guess. That's why we should not listen to Egyptologists. Okay, here we go. Where's the part I wanted to read? Okay, here we go. Okay, we're almost to the part I wanted to read. Here it comes. Okay, so this is after he discovered the lost city, or rediscovered. Leonard spotted something perhaps even more remarkable. If you stand in the eastern niche during sunset at the March or September equinoxes, you see a dramatic astronomical event. The sun appears to sink into the shoulder of the Sphinx, and beyond that, into the south side of the pyramid of Khafre on the horizon. At the very same moment, Leonard says, the shadow of the Sphinx and the shadow of the pyramid, both symbols of the king, become merged silhouettes. The Sphinx itself, it seems, symbolized the pharaoh presenting offerings to the sun god in the court of the temple. Hawass concurs, saying the Sphinx represents Khafre as Horus, the Egyptians' revered royal falcon god who was giving offerings with his two paws to his father Khufu, incarnated as the sun god Ra, who rises and sets in that temple. So he's basically saying, he's describing that they make a Akhet, which proves that it's older than Khufu, sorry. Equally intriguing, Leonard discovered that when one stands near the Sphinx during the summer solstice, the sun appears to set midway between the silhouettes of the pyramids of Khafre and Khufu. The scene resembles the hieroglyph Akhet, which can be translated as horizon, but also symbolizes a cycle of life and rebirth. Even if coincidental, it is hard to imagine the Egyptians not seeing this ideogram. Leonard wrote in the Archive of Oriental Research, if somehow intentional, it ranks as an example of architectural illusionism on a grand scale, maybe the grandest scale. All right, this is the last one. If Leonard and Hawass are right, Khafre's architects arranged for solar events to link the pyramid, Sphinx, and temple. Collectively, Leonard describes the complex as a cosmic engine intended to harness the power of the sun and other gods to resurrect the soul of the pharaoh. Now remember, when you're studying with Dr. Ashby or Seba Ma, it's about resurrecting us, our soul. Like they're described, like when they say the king or the royal personality or Asar, you put your name there. So it's not just about any one king, it's about humanity. And that's the part they don't get. This transformation not only guarantees eternal life for the spiritual aspirant, dead ruler, but also sustains the universal natural order Ma'at, including the passing of the seasons, the annual flooding of the Nile, which they dammed, and the daily lives of the people. In this sacred cycle of death and revival, the Sphinx may have stood for many things. It's still standing as an image of Khafre, the dead king, as the sun god incarnated in the living ruler, and as a guardian of the underworld in the Gaza tombs. Thank you, Smithsonian. There's a lot more there. The link is at the post that you can't see right now. Okay, so as I stated before, I believe it's safe for me to say that this monument is at least 26,000 years old. I follow the galactic calendar and the precession of the equinox, and they had this knowledge. So they put it lined up with the age of Leo. So, and they knew about the age of Aries. I mean, they set these things up. They already had this knowledge. They already had this information. They already knew about the precession of the equinox. It's not just 7,000 years old or 4,000 years old. It wasn't made to look like Khafre, even though he was a wonderful person. I'm going off. Okay. Then there's also the concept of the Greek Sphinx. I think I have that on here later. Yeah, okay, we'll get to that later. When I first started studying, before I studied with Seba Ma, I learned that the Sphinx represented 4 aspects of being the 4 fixed zodiac signs: Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio. I don't know if that's still true. He might have been talking about the Greek Sphinx, because the Greek Sphinx has wings. But I was taught the Leo, the lion, is the fire. The bull for Taurus is the earth. The man, the human face, is Aquarius for the mind and air. And I forgot what the water is. My library was stolen as well, so I don't have that book anymore. Then I have some images of the Aker, the double lion with the sun in the middle, represents eternity. The Egyptian symbol of the eternal, quote-unquote, present moment. The Aker, the duality, lions of yesterday and today. The lion on the left corresponds to yesterday and faces west. The lion on the right faces east and represents tomorrow. The sun disk in the center, perfectly balanced between the 2 lions, represents the eternal present moment, outside of time. To locate the eternal present is to find our higher self within. This is mastery, and this is our task in life, according to the occult doctrine. Okay, I had a link here to a person's travel guide, when he went traveling. And I've been 4 times. My photographs are completely disorganized. They're not named. They're not labeled. I look forward to the day when I can go through all my pictures, and instead of showing pictures from other sources, I can show my own pictures. However, I don't know when that will be. Okay, here's a description of the Greek version of the Sphinx, which shows to you what, the people who stole the culture and then tried to adapt it to their own wants and needs, their own agenda. From Wikipedia, in the Greek tradition, the Sphinx is a treacherous and merciless being with the head of a woman, the haunches of a lion, and the wings of a bird. According to Greek myth, she challenges those who encounter her to answer a riddle, and kills and eats them when they fail to do so. This deadly version of a Sphinx appears in the myth and drama of Oedipus. That's like the total opposite of the HeruKuti. In the Egyptian mythology, in contrast, the Sphinx is typically depicted as a man. I did go over my... No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm going to have to get creative here. Let me see here. Okay, just 1 minute, because I definitely want to finish this broadcast. try without stepping on anything. Just a minute, please. Oh, I know what I can do. That'll work. What? My studio is basically a hallway. Okay, yeah, so my phone's getting ready to die, so I'm trying to transfer it over. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect the microphone here. Hopefully it'll still work. Okay. So for those of you that are still on TikTok, can you let me know if you can hear me? Repeat about the Sphinx. Running out of the scroll. You're missing out the actual facts I'm sharing. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll repeat that part. The Sphinx, in the Greek tradition, the Sphinx is a treacherous and merciless being with the head of a woman, the haunches of a lion, and the wings of a bird. According to Greek myth, she challenges those who encounter her to answer a riddle and kills and eats them when they fail to do so. This deadly version of a Sphinx appears in the myth and drama of Oedipus. In Egyptian mythology, in contrast, the Sphinx is typically depicted as a man, an androsphinx. I don't know where they got that word from. It's Greek. And seen as benevolent, though with strength as ferocious as that of the Greek version. Both the Greek and Egyptian sphinxes were thought of as guardians, and statues of them often flank the entrances to temples. All right, I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so now we have articles from a few other sources, and then we'll get music and then say Bama. I don't know. I guess when they have two Neteru and one Decan, I should know that it's going to take longer to get through everything that has much to present. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Oh! This happens so much. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is an interesting website. It has HeruKuti versus the Sphinx, the riddle of the Sphinx, part 2. I didn't see part 1, but he's got a lot of information here. I'm not even going to try to read all of it. There was one thing. Well, okay, so the riddle of the Sphinx, like, I've heard several versions of it. I don't remember any of them. I've really gotten away from Egyptologists. But he's got an interesting perspective. Like here he says, HeruKuti had been eroded by thousands of years of heavy rains in the dry desert of Kemet. That's impossible. Basically, he says the riddle of the Sphinx is that the people who built the Sphinx were the first humans, and they were black. And he's got lots of evidence here. So I have, here's another one. Okay, according to the Bible, although it doesn't really give an exact date, the time span from Adam and Eve to our present is about 6,000 years ago. Well, it is correct, sort of, but for a specific race, not humanity. HeruKuti proves that there were civilizations that existed long before Adam and Eve, for which the Bible does not even mention. He's just got lots of facts and quotes And I think that was, I don't remember which one it was, so. Oh, this is good. There's a difference between Egyptologists and chematologists. Egyptologists consist of non-Africans who somehow find it logical to study Kemet while erasing any and all African foundation identity. These mental cases are fascinated to the point of infatuation, knowing it is here we can learn how earliest life began on up to its earliest recorded civilizations. Yet, dimensionally feel these civilizations were found without an African influence. He talks about the water erosion. It's a lot longer than I thought. So I'm just going to have the link there on the page for this session, and you can go through it. It's a lot longer than I thought. And then another author, more talk about the Greek version has a woman's head. And there we go. Okay, so here's a good one. History of Ancient Egypt Archive. Symbolically, the body of the beast represents the animal nature which exists in man, and the lion exemplifies the royalty and power of the divine spirit that exists in its lower physical form. The head of a man symbolizes the intelligence of the mind, which must be cultivated in order to elevate the consciousness into a higher spiritual state so that it may become divine. It is the suppression of the lower animal nature and the refinement of the thought processes that lead to the spiritual evolution of man. Spiritually speaking, it is only by conquering the beast within that one is capable of truly knowing the divine. Knowledge comes from enlightenment, light, good, or God, which vanquishes the darkness, ignorance, evil, or the devil. HeruKuti exemplifies the eternal conquest of good over evil because he faces the eastern horizon and is physically enlightened by the sun as it rises each morning. Some believe it is a solar symbol. Right? Then we have another great source from the 7 worlds. I referred to them last decade. Uh-oh. Nothing was found there. Looks like oh. Not that part. Just this part. This one is one of my favorites because, of course, it quotes Seba Ma. So that means it's on the right track. Oops. Here we go. The 7 worlds. HeruKuti. By the Kushite Institute for Holistic Development. The ancient, profound, and mysterious Kushite Kemetic symbol with distinct African features, 240 feet long, 66 feet high, shoulder span of 38 feet, with multiple interpretations and translated as Horizon, flanked in the background by other horizons, akets, or pyramids of great African kings. According to recent interpretation, it was believed that these great kings upon death would be reborn as stars to rise over the eastern horizon. However, as African builders or geniuses in an unprecedented holistic spiritual quote-unquote old kingdom civilization, these great kings were stars already in the mundane sensory world, even before their putative birth as stars on the eastern horizon. Additionally, the mysteriously enduring structure may be interpreted as symbolic of the apparent, relatively superficial or short-term dual nature of generic man during his spiritual journey in this mundane world. Therefore, the lower body, the lion, reflects the lower or beastly nature of man, while the head, the divine king, reveals his spiritual faculties, his Heru, or inner divine self, sacred self, that metaphorically should transcend his lower beastly nature, perceiving, moving towards greater, higher levels of life. In essence, we are challenged to be holistic, spiritually oriented, centered people, not to be confused with being religious. Metaphorically, to look beyond the horizon of sensory sight, spiritual insight, intuition, revelation. To look beyond the horizon of sensory sight, spiritual insight, intuition, revelation, not physical sensory mundane. Therefore, we are spiritually mandated Ooh, spiritually mandated. Ooh, I like the sound of that instead of having to wear a mask. We are spiritually mandated to build the kingdom. Bottom line, like our great African ancestors, we must become heroes or earthly stars before we can become heavenly stars. Amen. And then he's got some more information here. And he's referenced Dr. Ashby quite a bit. So again, I have the link there if you want to check it out once my website is no longer down. Oh, okay. And then for a joke, I looked up Kemet.org, the Kemetic Orthodoxy, which is a joke. And then also Kemet.com, an electronics company. Here's from their website. With over 100 years of technological innovation, we help make a wide variety of products possible in the world's most rapidly expanding industries. Our components are found in spacecrafts and defibrillators, from outer space to inside our bodies, and in products we use every day. We have the broadest selection of capacitor technologies in the industry, including an expanding range of extramechanical devices and electromagnetic compatibility solutions. So yeah, so Kemet.org is owned by this, it's a Caucasian group, organization. And you see they had some of the strangest information on them. Let's see what it was. Oh yeah. This is what they have. They have a picture of the Sphinx head. HeruKuti is not only a name of Nebjer, but a divinized persona specifically applied to the great Sphinx stationed before the second pyramid, Khafre, at modern-day Giza. As protector of the old kingdom necropolis, HeruKuti sits facing the dawn in the Nile, watching that no one disturbs the rest of his masters. With the human head and lion body on a much grander scale than any other sphinx known to Kemet. The name also alludes to the presence of the king Heru inside the pyramid, more often than not called a horizon, symbolizing the death implicit in sunset and the rebirth implicit in sunrise. I just pointed that out. These are the organizations that own the domain Kemet.com and Kemet.org. Okay. Ucha, I appreciate you wanting to join the live. This is more of a concert, and when I have the discussion sessions, then I will invite people on. So this is not time or place for like debating or arguing or anything. This is just pure devotional offerings from Asmataji Temple of Divine Light Healing and Sweet Sounds. But I will be having some discussions where you all can come on and tell me that I'm wrong or whatever you want to. All right, now we're going to... Is it charging now? Yes, it's charging now. Yeah, it's charging now. I'm sorry about that. I didn't expect to do a marathon. I'm going to have to do better. Okay, thank you. All right, so now we're going to have the hymn to Aten by Akhenaten. And I offered this one last week. We have it again. Here's the translation. Adorations to HeruKuti, from the hymn to Aten by Akhenaten. Adorations to the living Heru in the two horizons, residing in the horizon. In his name of Shu, in the form of the sun disk, giving life forever and for eternity. This praise is sung by the king Akhenaten, the living in righteousness, Lord of the two lands, ancient Kemet. The good king in his name, creator, one with God. Ua HeruKuti. I am again, and then Chu am Yang Jeta Hey, into Tenon, Emat Neptawi, NeferTem, Orion Asar. I normally would have sang that twice. However, it is getting late. Right. And okay, and then I'm also going to offer the reflection for HeruKuti. If you want to get into the pose of the Sphinx, I can turn this. Stay. You would be shocked if you saw my studio setup. The reflection for HeruKuti, the Sphinx pose. If you are able to get into the Sphinx pose, you're crouching down, head up, paws extended. I'll look at my image of the Sphinx while I'm HeruKuti, Haru of the two horizons, the Sphinx pose. I discovered the wisdom of the serpent, which rose up in me and enlightened me. I am the Leo constellation in the night sky. I'm a marker for the precession of the equinox. I am well established, and my rulership is everlasting. As I look forward to my distant future, I reconnect with my ancient past, existing forever in the now. Now raise up and roar like a lion. Roar! Roar! Oh. Now I've mastered my leonine nature, my lower nature and master of intellect. My roar purifies the land. I am the original, I am mystical, and I am complete. Look, HeruKuti, look, HeruKuti, Haru of the two horizons, the Sphinx pose. Nefer. Yes, indeed. The Tefna Terusimapaut yoga movement system is fabulous. Because as you go through the postures, you're recreating creation. And, you really feel the energy when you recite the reflections. And I don't know when I'm going to start, but I am going to start leading sessions or, making a video with just the meditative reflections, not the extend your left hand, extend your right foot, not all that. It's only for like level 2, people who already know the basic postures. I'm not a certified yoga instructor. However, I am certified in the yoga meditation reflective movement system. My system will be called Aku Saneb because I have added some things. Like for that one, I added quite a bit. All right. So now we're going to go to Seba Ma's work. I'm going to jump to, okay, I'm going to be done by 9:30. This is a 3-hour session. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to start with Egyptian Yoga Volume 1, page 123. Egyptian. Yeah, okay. I put it back already. Woo! Yes, this is the first book of Dr. Ashby's that I purchased, Egyptian Yoga Volume 1. A friend of mine let me borrow it, and it took me a whole year to read the first chapter because I kept having to put it down and pick it up and go back, and I finally gave it back to her, and then I bought my own copy. Okay, page 123. I think he has, is it 160 books or 60? I don't know. Because he has a lot of books written now. Okay, page 123. Oh, okay. So here, I can show you this illustration. So we have the illustration of PTAH, his dad, holding up the horizon. Reminds me of Shu, right? So let's just have a little reading about this. Why did I even choose this? Okay. I don't know why I chose this one. I don't see a reason why I selected this. There's nothing about HeruKuti on here. Oh, Heru and the Horizon. Okay. Heru is one of the most ancient representations of the Nefer. Represented as a falcon-headed deity, Nefer, Heru encompasses all within his wingspan. Heru is also the soul which vivifies all life and existence. The ancient Sphinx is called Heru in the Horizon, Heru and Maket. Ptah and Ra are forms of Heru, as stated in the scriptures, when Heru is referred to as Great Heru. Heru is represented in all periods of Egyptian mythology in various forms. The name of Ptah is written in hieroglyphic as a human form supporting heaven and earth, like Atlas. Nothing they come up with is original. The name Ptah is composed of the following parts: Pt, heaven, Pet, and Ta, earth. H as in He, support. Also, He is eternity. Thus, Ptah, Nefer God Heru, is the support of heaven and earth. Okay. Then we have, I had it already written on there. Okay. Egyptian Book of the Dead, Volume 1, page 14. And then this is his series, Egyptian Book of the Dead, when he breaks down passages in the Nefer. Calendar, page 14. Oh, sorry about that. Oh my goodness. All right. Certainly not going to read this whole page. Oh, here we go. The calendar. All right. It is known that the pharaonic royal calendar, based on the Sothic system, Sirius, which is what the calendar for the Divine Holy Days is based on, was in use by by the year 4240 BCE. This isn't even talking about the Mali, the Dogon in Mali. This certainly required extensive astronomical skills and time for observation. Therefore, the history of Kemet... I can't move. I cannot move. Otherwise, it'll come crashing down. Therefore, the history of Kemet must be reckoned to be extremely ancient. Thus, in order to group the antiquity of ancient Kemetic culture, religion, and philosophy, we will briefly review the history presented by the ancient Egyptian priest Manetho and some Greek historians. I'm just going to read about the calendar. The calendar, based on the great year, was also used by the ancient Egyptians. The great year is based on the movement of the earth through the constellations known as the precession of the equinox. That is why I follow the 13-month sidereal system, because it's based on how we move through the constellations. It's not based on what the Greeks did when they divided the orbit into 12 equal sections and named each section after a constellation. And even if they did that, that was 4,000 years ago. Due to precession of the equinox, time moves forward one day every 70 years. So it's off. But that's just if you're into astrology. Movement of the earth through the constellations known as the precession of the equinox and confirmed by the history given by the ancient Egyptian priest Manetho in the year 241 BC. Each great year has 25,860 to 25,920 years and 12 arcs or constellations. However, it's 13. I haven't figured out what the cycle is, because if it's 13, then it's going to be an even 26,000, because in the Olmec calendar, which is based on 13 and 260 cycles, 13 months and 260. It's been so long since I studied it. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but their system is based on even 26,000 years. Not approximately. Each great year has 25,860 to 25,920 years and 12 arcs or constellations, and each passage through a constellation takes 2,155 to 2,160 years. See, we know that's not true, because even the Dogon calendar has 12 months with 3 10-day weeks, and then they have that 13th month with 5 days. So I'm going to figure, what is it, 2,000 times 12, 24, 2,100, and then those 5 days. I'm going to figure it out. I don't know if I'll figure it out by the next Divine Holy Day. I'm going to work on that calculation. I know it's true. These are the great months. The current cycle or year began around the year 10,858 BCE. And around the year 36,766 BCE, according to Manetho, the creator, Ra, ruled the earth in person from his throne in the ancient Kemetic city of Anu. By this reckoning, our current year, 2000 ACE, is actually the year 38,766, based on the great year system of ancient Kemetic history. So this book was published in I know it's right in front of my face. 2016. So if there was 38,766, it's 36,770. I don't know. I don't know what it is now. Wait, my old calendar should have it. Just a minute. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is the one from last year. I didn't get the new one because I'm not following the 7-day. Yeah, but the year 2022 calendar is the year 38,788. And so in July, it'll switch to 38,789. So let me make sure I keep up with those. All right. Then we go to the Tree of Life. We're almost done here. Tree of Life. We have page 262. Uh-oh. I don't know. I may just reference the other two. Tree of Life, 262. It's also fascinating, though. It's hard to stop. Okay, so this is from Dr. Ashby's book, The Tree of Life, where it's information on the dating of the Sphinx. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because I've talked about it a little bit. There we go. Okay, here we go. The great HeruKuti looks out towards the east. At certain special astronomical times, he looks directly at the sun, which rises exactly in front of him. At these special times, he is looking at himself in the form of the celestial constellation of the Lion. Thus, in the same way, an aspirant may assume the HeruKuti posture and look out at the sun at dawn to discover herself, to recognize herself, and in so doing, realize the greater essential nature of self as being Ua in Ra, one with Ra. Okay, so yeah, here's that information on the flooding and how they came up with the date. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just joining in, we are almost at the end of this presentation of Divine Holy Day Cosmic Adorations. We went through NeferTem, and now we're on HeruKuti, where the teachings by Dr. Ashby. We'll have a few more songs, and then we'll be wrapping it up. You will be able to find the replay on Instagram. I have a feeling the one on YouTube is there's something wrong with the sound, but we'll be posting clips and the replay. I'll be uploading the replay from TikTok to YouTube. Okay. Here we got a little bit more talking about Ra. Kepra or Kepri, the dung beetle, represents the morning sun from which is becoming creating. This form is also associated with the young Heru in the horizon, also known as the Sphinx. How about that one? Well, I'll wait till we get to this sun. Oh, I'll do it now. Okay, so here's another Hekau. This is from the album Pauti Netadu. Dua Kepara, Dua Ra, Dua Ra Tem. Dua Kepara, Dua Ra, Dua Temura. Dua Kepara, Dua Ra, Dua Ra Tem. Dua Kepara, Dua Ra, Dua Ra Tem. Dua Kepara, Dua Ra, Dua Temura. Kepra, the rising sun in the east. Alrighty then. Now we're gonna go to, we're almost done. Page 10, I already did that. Page 263, Lion Power, Headdress, Conquering the Lion Nature. I already did that. Purdy Maru, page 75. Oops, not that. Purdy Maru, page 75. Purdy Maru, page 75. Oops. Alright, page 75. The primeval waters of creation. We talked about that earlier when we were working with with NeferTem. I'm a little delirious. I have not had a lot of sleep. Where is it? Let's see it. Must not be on the right page. Okay, yeah, the scroll is going berserk. One more page. 75. Stop. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you chose this page. You know what? I'm just gonna look. Oh yeah, yes, it's really going crazy now. Oh, I see. It's looking for NeferTem, and I'm looking for the Sphinx. Okay, there we go. Sphinx of Ra, page 78, not 75. All right, here we go. Okay, the Sphinx, Ra, here we go. This form is also associated with the young Heru in the horizon, known as the Sphinx. Ra represents the daytime sun, which sustains creation. Tum comes from the root tem, to be complete, fullness, or temen, which means to make an end of. Also, Tum is regarded as the evening or setting sun in the western sky, symbolizing the completion, the end of the journey. This is why the initiate wishes to go to the beautiful west upon completion of the span of life. The beautiful west is the abode of Asar. Tum was analogous in nature to the Babylonian Tiamat, the Chaldean Tamti, the Hebrew Tehorn, and the Greek Themis. And so there is the information about living your life in such a way that you don't have to come back. I've even turned most of my altars to face the west instead of facing the east, because you want to put all your energy towards the west. I don't know if it's on this phone. I have a phone. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this app still hasn't loaded. Yes, recently, what's going on with this phone? Is it on airplane mode or something? Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on here. A sister friend of mine turned me on to this amazing app called Alpenglow. You can see it. And it tells you the time of the first light, the time of the blue hour, the time of the golden hour, the time of sunrise, the time of daytime, the time of the golden hour, sunset, the blue hour, and the last light. And I have been really enjoying this app because normally they tell you when the dawn is or the dusk, but this one tells you the exact hour. It's, what is it? 40 minutes, no, 20 minutes before sunrise and 40 minutes after. And the blue moon is 15 minutes before the golden hour. And then the sunset, it's, 40 minutes before sunset and then 20 minutes after sunset. Because I like to watch the sky change colors. That's my favorite part. And I like to see it before the sunrise or right after the sunset. And I just wasn't getting the whole experience. So now I do my meditation, my spiritual work in the morning during the golden hour. And at sunset, Sekhmet suggested this to me. We do it together sometimes, chant for an hour during the golden hour, the Om Amun Rapata chant. That's on YouTube. Has 28,000 views for some reason. All right. Look at that. And then some Proverbs on page 42. Page 42 for real. I don't believe it. Okay, there's a few Proverbs to close with. Self-knowledge is the basis of true knowledge. And Dr. Ashby has a wonderful book of Kemetic Proverbs. It's good to just read from it every day. Soul to heaven, body to earth. Man is to become godlike through a life of virtue and the cultivation of the spirit through scientific knowledge, practice, and bodily discipline. Salvation is accomplished through the efforts of the individual. There is no mediator between man and his or her salvation. Salvation is the freeing of the soul from its bodily fetters, becoming a god through knowledge and wisdom, controlling the forces of the cosmos instead of being a slave to them, subduing the lower nature, and through awakening the higher self, ending the cycle of rebirth and dwelling within the netters who direct and control the great plant. Hotep. All right, so we're going to have one more chant to close this out. Before I do that, let's see, the next presentation of the Cosmic Adorations Divine Holy Day will be moving into the next month of Pinit. And on June 16th, Friday, June 16th, will be the next Divine Holy Day. The first decan is for PTAH and HERSHAFI. So this is a system I'm really not familiar with, and I'm going to learn the days of the decans. Some of the deities I'm not familiar with, so I know PTAH. We talked about PTAH a little bit today, so I have to find out. And I think it's also the new moon. That's the day of rest. Okay. So yeah, you can get these calendars from the Earth Center, or they have an app now. My app wasn't loading earlier. It's still not loading. It's because I don't know why, but it usually works great. I think it's because I said that I already have an app on another phone, and they're trying to find it on this phone. But it's very handy for scheduling, so I highly recommend you try it. Okay, so we're gonna have our last song, and for people who are trying to get on, the call when I have the like a talk show. We'll open it up to people who come and join. But during this is like a devotion session for me, my study devotion, and it's enough time for debate. But we will have a chance to talk soon. Let's see. So other presentations from CanisMajor Temple coming up. Uh-oh. Gotta be careful not to move anything. I remember I had the great idea, because I was following the Egyptian holy days, and it just got to be a little bit much because there's so many discrepancies between different schools, cultures, traditions, and geographical locations, etc. So it came to me to just pay attention to these constellations. We have on this side the sacred hoop. We're pointing out towards the outer arm of the galaxy. The sacred hoop I learned about from the Lakota, and it's a series of constellations that makes a hoop. It consists of Gemini, CanisMajor or Sirius, and Orion or Asar. So when the sun or planets or the moon move into the sacred hoop, we come on and have a devotion for Sirius, mostly for Sirius. And then we have on the other side of this, it looks like a broadcast system. It's like a speaker. On the other side, we have the Ophiuchus, the 13th constellation, representing Imhotep, the healer. So that's when we have the talk show presentation where people can come on and ask me questions and argue with me and debate, and it was fun the last time I did it. And then here in the center we have us on the Earth, and this time we follow the solar sidereal calendar, which is the Good Rising TV presentation. It's the Cosmic Chimes and Chanting presentation. So, and now I've added the Divine Holy Day, Cosmic Adorations, and then if Mercury goes retrograde or there's an eclipse or something, I will do a Cosmic Chimes and Chanting. I've stopped following the moon. I'm no longer convinced that it's a real moon anyway. It's still very beautiful, and I still love to go look at it, but I no longer want my life to be tied to it. So then the next Imhotep transit, Ophiuchus transit, will be, I missed it. It was June 3rd. I missed it. Okay. There was a lot going on that full moon, so that's probably why I didn't even register. So the next one will be June 30th. It's what they call a blue full moon. We have 2 full moons in 1 month, and that is why we have 2 full moons in 1 month, because there's 13 moons in a year, and they only acknowledge 12 months. I need to hang this up on my wall because I did not mean to miss the June 3rd. I may just still do one. Yeah, because that means that the moon was in Ophiuchus. The moon was in Ophiuchus. I missed it. Yeah. There was so much going on in my personal life, though. It just didn't happen. All right. And then the next Sacred Hoop Cosmic Adorations will be on June 18th. The new moon will be in the Sacred Hoop. So that will be for HeRSHAFI. Yeah, I'm going to come on and do a Ophiuchus presentation anyway, even though we missed it. I might even do it tonight because I don't know. And then on June 21st, we have another Cosmic Adorations because Ra will be in the Sacred Hoop in Gemini. And on the 22nd, Juno moves there. And then the next Good Rising TV is coinciding with that Sun into Sidereal Gemini. Yeah. And then also we have the Spiral Dance Medicine Wheel. So there's a lot going on. As you can see, I missed one of my broadcast dates. I'm still going to do it, even though I'm late. So we're going to close out with Pauti Metaru. I haven't checked in with YouTube in a while because the sound was all messed up. Oh, Divine Goddess, yeah. Yeah, my big challenge is going to be getting the replay posted on the Divine Holy Day so that you can, experience it on your Divine Holy Day. I will work on it. I apologize. I didn't see your message until just now, and you will get to see the replay. Or you can go to, like here, I put up here, if the sound is awful, go to Instagram or TikTok. Okay. And like I said, when I started working on this, my website went down, so you weren't able to follow along with the teachings, but it's being worked on. So hopefully by the next one, I'll be able to get it out to you before I go live. That's the goal. All right. I always play the same drum rhythm. I gotta learn some more drum rhythms. Let's play what comes natural. I don't like that one. I still haven't found my system. I think I told you last time that I packed it away because I was supposed to be moving, and I don't know where it is. Do-a never-jer, do-a never-jer, do-a never-jer, do-a never-jer. Do-a-ra, 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 do-a-kepara. Do-a-ma'at, 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 do-a-ma'at. Do a Dhehuty, do a Dhehuty, do a Dhehuty. Dua Hotep. Dua, thank you for staying with me through this whole 3-hour marathon. Cosmic Adorations Divine Holy Day for NeferTem and HeruKuti. Be back on June 16th in 10 days with the presentation for Happy and I already forgot. Happy and Ptah and HERSHAFI. It's probably HERSHAFI. I don't know. Anyway, Dua Hotep, thank you so much. I will post the replay on YouTube. You can also find it on Tachia Ahmet Instagram. And I will post a few highlights on all 3 platforms. Hopefully today, so that you can have it for Divine Holy Day. That's the goal for me, is to get more consistent and getting the replays out more efficiently. Okay, once again, this is Arit Neter S. Medi Maati, aka Tachia Ahmet, from Asmataji Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds. Remember, you can go to lightbeingwellness.com/shop and get a purchase bottle of lotus oil from Egypt, pressed flowers, no alcohol, no distillation, no chemicals, just pressed flowers. And also get a pair of pinhole glasses. I've been wearing these since the year 2003. Well, not this pair. I've been wearing pinhole glasses since 2003. And you can also get medicinal salves made by yours truly. Remember, NeferTem is the god of oils and salves. Dua Hotep. Oh! One of these days. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the love and the hearts. And when I go live for the wellness talks, you can get on and we can communicate together. Dua Hotep.